Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com, and I wanted to share a quote with you by Tracy. It says, "Successful people are simply those with successful habits." I feel like if you understand this alone can really jumpstart your career as an entrepreneur. It can really take you to new levels, and really lessons like these are even more valuable than any marketing trick or things like that I can teach you. So I'm going to dive in and show you 6 steps you can take to apply this quote to your life and to your business. And first off, you need to write down the current habits you have. The meaning of this quote basically means your habits are everything. It's not the home runs you hit every once in a while. It's not the things you do here and there. It's not the things you intend to do but don't get to all the time. It's the things you do day in, day out on a consistent basis, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. And you need to write down the current habits you have now. Whether they're good, whether they're bad, do things that you always do. Okay? Write them down. Second, identify which ones are the most destructive. Okay? Which means they're not productive, they don't bring any joy to your life, they prevent you from doing things that you should be doing. What is keeping you from taking a step forward towards your goals today? Third, once you've identified your destructive habits, you need to know the triggers that set them in motion. Every habit has a trigger, whether you know it or not. For instance, when a smoker sees a cigarette pack, they get the urge to smoke. Okay? If they weren't around, or maybe they're around other people that smoke. If they're not around people that smoke and they don't see a cigarette pack, they might not even get the urge to smoke. Okay? It might not be near as strong of an urge if they do get an urge. Or when an overweight person passes by a fast food restaurant on the way home from work, then maybe they start craving that taste of the greasy tacos or burgers that they might order. They start thinking about, the food, and then they start craving it. And they have just this automatic emotional response to these triggers. So you need to identify these triggers that set the habit in motion. What is the igniter of your habit? What is starting it in the first place? Okay? 4, now that you know your habits and triggers, you have to try to you don't need to try and cut them out completely, because that just doesn't work. Okay? It doesn't work because it's too drastic. You have to ease your way into these things. You have to find the triggers. You have to figure out what you're doing first to be aware of it. When you're aware of it, you might do it a little bit less, but you're still going to have that habit kick in every once in a while. But you can't just try to erase it all at one time, because it just doesn't work. This is why people make New Year's resolutions, and they're these drastic things, and they sound good when they say it, but then it never works out and they give up in the first week. This is also why completely changing someone's diet when they're starting to try to lose weight doesn't help them lose weight, because then they start craving the things that they miss, and then they explode, and they go and they eat a bunch of bad stuff. Okay? Don't try to just replace your habits altogether at one time. Number 5, if you are already going to work at your desk, for instance, but always get bored or sleepy from sitting and staring at a screen all day, try taking periodic breaks every 90 minutes. Another thing that happens for people when they're trying to work at a desk, especially, they get tired, they get sleepy. I actually had this problem. Or they get burnt out. Don't let yourself get burnt out. That can trigger bad habits if you let yourself get burnt out, to where you won't consistently be productive every day. So give yourself periodic breaks about every 90 minutes. You can get an app, a lot of different apps out there that you can get for your phone that remind you when to take a break and remind you when it's time to work. Or you can look up the ultradian rhythm, which basically says that you have these peaks and valleys of production, and to take a break when you're in a valley to let yourself recharge and get back to work for the next hour and a half. Okay? And you could even get a standing desk. That's just something that I tried once, and I'm still doing it to this day because I used to get sleepy staring at a screen all day, sitting at a desk. I got a standing desk. I'm up on my feet. I got the blood flowing all throughout me now. I'm not near as tired and having trouble with as many bad habits or anything anymore. Another thing you can do is try to wake up early. If you tend to wake up late, and you have a hard time getting things done during the day, like I used to be, try getting the same amount of sleep but just going to bed a little earlier and then waking up earlier. A lot of the most successful entrepreneurs you'll hear from, they say they get up early. They get up at 5 in the morning, they get up at 6 in the morning. Or maybe you're a night owl. You might be the rare case where you work better at night, but either way you have to get done what needs to get done that day, and you have to do it habitually. You have to make it a habit. It's the accumulation of the small things you do day in and day out that make you who you are and that gets your business the results it gets. Good or bad. Good or bad. It all comes down to habits. What are you doing daily? Okay? So I want to show you this quote again. Successful people are simply those with successful habits. Work on your habits. This is my homework to you. If you do this, it doesn't matter about all these different tips and tricks I can teach you about marketing and about branding and blogging and all this stuff. If you get this down, you use what you know already, and you just have good habits, you'll be 10 times more productive and you'll make 10 times more money. Alright? So if you liked the video, if you learned a little bit, if you got something from it, please like it, subscribe. I'll have a lot more like this coming your way. And don't forget to visit us at selfmadesuccess.com, where we have more in-depth training, more free resources and other things. You can also contact me there if you want, and I can help you out with your problems and maybe give you some good solutions, give you some feedback on what you're doing. And also, don't forget to leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the video. We love to hear your opinion and what you're thinking. Maybe add another quote to this if it reminds you of something, or talk about a lesson that you've learned that's similar to this. We always look to hear from you. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you have a great day.